Hi guys! I'm not sure if you caught my earlier episode on overnight oats, but I've got another recipe for you, and a confession. I'm Jen Sabotin of FuelYourTransformation.com, and my confession is that I love carrot cake. I love it. If we go somewhere and there's carrot cake on the dessert menu, that is what I'm ordering. Okay, I try not to order it every time, but I love carrot cake. And my sister makes the best carrot cake. But she doesn't live that close to me, and I don't feel like I can put her to work every time she comes to visit. But she usually does make it for me when she comes up. But I have a combination of those two things, a breakfast of overnight oats and carrot cake. That's what we're making today, guys, is carrot cake overnight oats. This is healthy and filling, and it tastes like you're cheating or doing something naughty, but you're not. It's got all kinds of good ingredients. We're going to go ahead and get started. I'm actually going to make 2 containers of this, so I have enough for the next couple of days. And you can use any kind of container. You could mix it in some sort of a plastic storage container like this. You could do it in a mason jar. I like these kind of containers because if you've seen me make things before, you know I like to shake it up and get it all mixed up that way. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. And so the first thing that you're going to use is carrots. So I am making 2, and I'm going to use 2 carrots. You can go ahead and peel your carrots if you want, but there's actually a lot of nutrients in the what we call the carrot peel, or the skin of the carrot. So really, as long as you've washed it pretty well, it's okay to use it. If you want to go ahead and peel it, that's totally fine. You can do that. I've got a bowl here that I'm going to peel into, or grate into, and you're going to use this thing. This is called a box grater, and so I want to use this side that's going to shred up that carrot. So I've got that, and here's a little tip. I am going to go ahead and cut off the end of the carrot, this end down here, but I'm going to leave this end on because that gives me something to hold so that my fingers don't get too close to the grater. So I'm going to go ahead and just slice off the 2 ends there, and now I'm going to go ahead and grate it. It's just going to take a second to grate this up. It's not hard. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing there. I'm just running it up and down the grater, and what it's doing is giving me little shreds like that. Oh, that's kind of hard to see. There you go. Little shreds like that, like shredded cheese. So I'm going to go ahead and just grate this up. Now, really it depends how much carrot you like. You could go with a half of a carrot per container. I'm actually going to go ahead and put a whole carrot in because I keep track of my veggies, and by the way, that makes this an awesome way to get some extra veggies in. Alright, so there's one, and you can see I'm pretty close to the end there. This was the end I was holding, so really there's not much waste. It's kind of the part that you would be cutting off or throwing away anyway. So I'm just going to go ahead and take all of that beautiful shredded carrot and put it in there. And this is so easy. I mean, we're not doing any cooking. That's kind of the beauty of overnight oats. So there's one. And I'm going to go ahead and get my second one going. It just takes a minute to do. You could do this, I suppose you could do it in a food processor. I don't know. I don't have a food processor. That's just another thing to keep on the counter or in a cabinet and have to get out. It's great if you have one. I just think this isn't really that hard. We're almost done. There is a little bit of a splash zone. A few of the carrots are jumping out here, but we'll get them contained. Alright. So there we go. So there's the second carrot, and that one's going into my other container. There we go. Okay, so carrots are all done. And so I've just got them in the container there, and then I'm going to build the rest of this right into each of these containers because the carrot's really the only part you have to do any work for. The rest of this is just pretty much kind of measuring things and putting them in the container. So the next thing that I'm going to go ahead and add are my oats. So we've talked about these in previous recipes. These are rolled oats. They are not the quick cook kind. You want to get the old-fashioned rolled oats. And I also mix in some of the steel cut oats. So I'm going to do kind of a mix of half and half of those. And we're going with a half cup. So I've got some of the rolled oats there. And then I'm going to add the balance there of the steel cut oats. So that's going in this one. And then I'm going to do the same thing in the other container. So it's a mix. So it's not really half and half, but it's close, eyeballing it. So I've got my oats. Those are in there. Move those out of the way. And so then the next thing that we're going to add, this makes it a really special treat, you guys. This is coconut. It's shredded coconut, but it's unsweetened, so you don't need the extra sugar. You know, that sugar is what's going to get you a lot in a lot of packaged food or prepared food. So for the coconut, I'm going to do 1.5 tablespoons. So just going to pour that in there, and there's one in each, and there's my extra half. There we go. So 1.5 tablespoons of unsweetened shredded coconut. The next thing that's going to go in is flaxseed. All right, flaxseed is very good for you, and you're going to go ahead and do 1 tablespoon of flaxseed. Just dump that in there. You could mix half and half of flaxseed and chia seed. That would be good too. And then the next thing that's going to get added in there is some, I'm going to use walnuts because that's what I have. You could use pecans as well, but I've got walnuts. And so these are actually chopped up walnuts. So they're already pretty well the size I need them to be. And I'm going to use a tablespoon of those. But I'm going to go ahead and give them another little chop here just to make sure they're bite size. All I'm doing is just pushing the knife through them. It's not any sort of measurement or anything like that. And I'm going to go ahead and get those in that one. And another tablespoon or a few extra. That's okay too. For the next one, again, I'm just eyeballing it to make sure that they're the, a good size. I want a little bit of bite of that walnut in every bite of my oatmeal. So we got that in there. And then the next thing that we're going to add is another one of my favorites. Now, I have a friend who doesn't like raisins. That's the next thing that's going in, is just raisins. So my friend doesn't like raisins, and I had made this recipe at work the other day. I took it in for my breakfast at work, and she saw me eating it, and she asked what it was. And I know she doesn't like raisins. I told her it was carrot cake oatmeal, and that I'd be happy to give her a taste, but it had raisins. And here's the thing. She actually did take a taste. I think she kind of avoided getting the raisins in there, but she loved it. She was asking, maybe I can make it without the raisins. And then she tried it, and she was like, oh, that's not bad. So we're going to go ahead and add a tablespoon of raisins. And all I did with my spoon there while I was talking to you is kind of got them loosened up, because you know how raisins sometimes stick together. So I've got a tablespoon of raisins, and you know what? You can add extra. You can add extra if you like them. There we go. So I probably put in about 1.5 tablespoons of the raisins. And then the next thing that we're going to go ahead and add, so all of that is now in here. The next thing I'm going to add is milk, and you could use your choice of milk. I use almond milk. You could use regular dairy milk. You could use coconut milk, soy milk, whatever milk you use. And we're going to go ahead and with the milk, we're going to use 3/4 of a cup. So I'm measuring that out here. So 3/4 into that one. And that milk is what's going to help soften up the oats. And 3/4 into that one. So this is really simple. All you're doing is pouring stuff in. Really, the hard part, guys, was the carrot, and you saw that wasn't hard. The next thing we're going to add is the plain Greek yogurt. You guys know I use this in a lot of my cooking. It's a great substitute for sour cream and anything you're making that requires sour cream. I use it in all my overnight oat recipes. It's actually even great for a dip. Here's a little extra bonus. This isn't really a recipe, but if you took the Greek yogurt and just mixed in a little bit of seasonings, whatever kind of spices, you could get Italian. I'm pointing to my cupboard over there. You could get Italian seasoning. You could get something like a Mrs. Dash, and that comes in lots of flavors. Just mix that in with the Greek yogurt, let it sit and all get incorporated, and then it's a great dip. Another something to help you get your veggies, right? Some people, that's what they need to get those veggies in is a dip. So I'm going to go ahead and add 1/4 of a cup-ish. All right, so I've got 1/4 cup of the Greek yogurt going in. Put that in there. And then the same in the next one. And that Greek yogurt is protein, so if you're thinking about how this works for you for breakfast, we've got fruit, we've got veggies with the carrot, we've got fruit with the raisins, we've got some healthy seeds with the flaxseed, and then this is protein, this yogurt. All right, so, oops, there's my phone. Hang on one second. Alright, jump back into that. So then the next thing I'm going to add is I'm going to go ahead and add some other seasonings here. I'm going to add my ground cinnamon, and for the cinnamon I'm adding 1 teaspoon. And get 1 teaspoon in each one. And then for the vanilla, I'm adding 1/2 teaspoon. There we go. And then I have maple syrup. I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of that as well. There we go. And then the final ingredient is just a pinch of salt. So literally it is a quick sprinkle of salt, and that's all there is to it. The next thing you do is just either stir, or in this case I'm going to just shake. That mixes it up. And that's all there is to it. These are going in the fridge, and I've got 2 breakfasts ready to go. That's all there is, guys. I hope you try this. I will talk with you later. Have a great day.